Hello students, today we are going to learn about part 6, short communicative message. You plan to go to the museum with your cousin John. You will be late. This is the key message. You mention you will be late. Write an email to John. Okay, so in your emails you need to write you will be late. So 3 points that the question require. First, explain why you will be late. You need to give the reason. You need to give the reason for the question. So you need to write down the reason. Why you gonna to be late. Secondly, we need to tell when. What is the time that do need to meet you? Okay. Thirdly, you need to mention where. Okay, where is the destinations? Maybe a cafe or maybe a bus stop there. Write about 30 to 50 words. Write your email below. So this is the part 6 question. So it's gonna be one paragraph only. So for this is under the email. So first of all, we need to write hi, say greetings, and then our format will be at our left hand side. First and foremost, we need to think about the first point. Why you gonna be late? Why you will be late? For example, what reasons that you can give to in this email? Okay, let's think about first. We can think why, because we need to visit someone. Maybe you can write down visit my neighbor in hospital. Okay, so maybe it's because you need to go to the hospitals and visit your neighbor. Maybe you can give it a name, maybe Mr. Phillips or something else. So this is the reason you explain why you will be late to go to the museum with your cousin. Secondly, we need to tell when. So you need to give a time. Okay, for example, 4 p.m. Okay, 4 p.m. you will go to the museum, or you will write down, maybe you can write down 10 for 12 p.m. or maybe 11 a.m. Okay, we change a times because normally museum will be closed by 5, so maybe we can go by 11 a.m. Next, we need to mention where he should meet you. Where is the place? So maybe you can write down something else, somewhere else, like what cafe. For example, bed cafe. For example, bed cafe. For example, just names, or any cafes that you like. For example, Dim's cafe. Okay, for example, Dim's cafe. Okay, just put a cafe name, or maybe you can just write down maybe at your homes or his home also a good places that we can meet. Okay, let's start to write our email there. Okay, so first, normally the questions or in the exam, the teachers or the questions will give already the persons that you need to write. So now we write ourselves, for example, to, so our friend is to John at gmail.com. So normally this will be given. So for now, for the practice, we just write down first. So for our subject would be I will be late. Okay, I will be late. Okay, so first we need to greeting. You can write down dear John, or you can write down hi John, is okay one. So for example, I write down hi John. Okay, hi John. Okay, so because you gonna to be late, so it is some things like very not good, so you can write down excuse me first. Hi John, so we just say sorry. We can mention excuse me, I will be late. I will be late. I will be late to where? To the museum. So just copy down the question. So I will be late to the museum today. Why? So just plug in our reason. Because, use the linkers, use the words because why you gonna to be late? Because I have to visit. For example, I had to, use had to visit my neighbor. Okay, for example, your neighbor. My neighbor, give us a name. For example, Mr. Jack. Okay, for example, Mr. Jack in hospital. So in our first sentences, we already mentions the reason, and then we already answer the first point that the question need, why you will be late. Okay, so the answer will be I have to visit my neighbor. You also can elaborate more. For example, you want to mention why your neighbor will go in hospital. For example, he got something, maybe fall down or got dengue or something else. You can just write it. So next, second point, we need to tell our cousin John to tell them why, where, and when. Okay, so the second one is the when, the time. So we ask them, can you meet me around okay, for example, around 11 a.m. okay, 11 a.m. at Din Cafe. Okay, write down where, and then we can just directly write down the place also, where. So in the second sentences, we already mentioned the time, we already mentioned the place. Okay, so until now we already answered the three points that the questions require us to answer. Okay, so the first one is I had to visit my neighbor. This is the first point. Our second point, we answer 11 a.m. when. And then the third point, Dim's Cafe, for example, so Dim Cafe, so we already answer the locations that he should meet you. Okay, next, you can elaborate more, because we need to write about 30 to 50. So elaborate more the cafe. Where is the cafe? For example, you can mention the cafe is near, right? You can write down near. Near means is very like a stone throw away. So we can use a proverbs or idioms instead of with directly use near. Okay, so we don't want to use near this word. We can change another words. Okay, just a stone thrown away. Just a stone thrown away. So it means that what? It means that near. Okay, it means that near. Okay, just a stone thrown away from your house. Okay, instead we use near, we can replace with another sentences. Just a stone thrown away from your house. Okay, and then we can write down more. Okay, give some elaborations. For example, how you gonna go? For example, we take a bus, so we can write down and we can work. Okay, work together to the bus stop to take the bus. Okay, for example, you go by bus, so you can write down go together to the bus stop after that. Yeah, just a simple and quick email practice. Okay, so for example, we can write down see you and bye. See you there and bye. Okay, yeah, already finished our short communicative message already. So write down here, best regard. You can write down your cousin is also can. For example, your name is Lily. Okay, so for example, just put Lily. Okay, so we already complete our shorts email here. Hi John, excuse me, I will be late to the museum today because I have to visit my neighbor Mr. Jack in the hospital. We state our reason. Can you meet me around 11 a.m. at Dame's Cafe? The cafe is just a stone throw away from your house and we can walk together to the bus stop after that. See you there and bye. Yeah, so I hope you learned something today. So let me repeat again with the Chinese version. 所以呢，今天我们要学的呢是关系到 past tense 的文章，是关系到 short communicative message。那么这种文章呢，这种 email 呢，我们要写的是大概30到50个字。我们来看一下这个题目 You plan to go to the museum with your cousin John。 所以你计划呢要和你的亲戚 John 呢一起去这个博物馆。 You will be late， 你会迟到。Write an email to John， 所以呢你要写一封 email 告诉这个 John。 所以呢在你的 email 里面呢，这个题目要求我们要写3个内容。第一个是 why， explain why you will be late， 你要解释为什么你会迟到。所以这里呢题目要求的是原因 reason， 原因 why。 所以这里呢我就给了一个原因是 visits our neighbor in hospital。 所以呢我们就讲到说我要去医院探望我的邻居。你也可以多加解释为什么你的邻居会在医院，可能是不幸摔倒，或者说他患上一些的疾病，那么需要你去 visit 他。所以这是你可以写在你的第一个 point 里面，第一个要点。那么第二个要点呢是 tell John when， 几时。那你在这里你要回答是一个时间。当然时间呢，我们以常理来讲，这个博物馆呢大概是5点关门，所以你可以写一个比较相对比较早的时间，比如说早上11点 AM。 那么第三个 say where 呢是哪里， he should meet you。 那么这个呢讲的是哪里，所以你要给他的是一个地点，比如说我们给他是 Dean Cafe， 当然你可以写其他地方，比如说是在他的家，或者说你要讲是在学校集合，其实也是可以的。那么我们这里呢就选择了在一个 Dean Cafe 那边集合。那么这一篇文章呢我们就写的30到50个字。 OK， 好的，那么我们就移下去，我们下面这篇文章要怎样写呢？首先这个 do 跟 subject 呢，通常考试或者是题目呢，考试情况下它都会给你的，所以不要担心。那么记得一样呢，就是如果它题目给你的名字是 John， 那么你下面一开始的时候要写 Hi John。 你可以写 Hi John， 你也可以写 Dear John， 都是 OK 的。那么这一篇是因为你要迟到，所以我们开始的时候就可以跟他讲很抱歉我会迟到，所以我们可以用一个 Excuse me I will be late。 late 的意思呢就是迟到，所以我们就可以跟他讲一声抱歉我们今天呢会迟到去这个博物馆。 late 的意思是迟 OK。 那么你可以讲为什么呢，我们就要写出我们的原因。原因呢我们因为呢我们叫 because， 因为呢我们叫 because。 我呢必须要去探望我的邻居我们叫 neighbor。 OK， 你可以写说是邻居，当然你要写是好像你的比如说我们要写说是 grandparents grandmother， 其实都可以 OK， 看你自己发挥。那么这里我们就给他一个名字是在 Mr. Drake， 然后在医院 Can you meet me around 11 AM。 这里呢我们就回答的是他的时间 time， 所以我们回答他呢是在上午11点。然后呢我们直接也回答他的地点，所以这个青色老师 highlight 的呢，这个就是它的内容，我们已经回答了这3个。那么接下来呢，如果我们到这里就停下来的话呢，我们短文呢就会非常的短，然后字数会不够，所以我们这时候要做呢就是要多加解释 elaborate。 所以比如说在这里呢我们就可以写说 The cafe is just a stone throw away from your house。 这个 a stone throw away 呢 instead 你不想用这个话，你也可以用 near 的意思就是靠近，它跟这两个是一样的。所以呢我们可以讲为什么要在这个 Dean Cafe 集合呢？因为它跟你的家里靠得非常的近。然后过后我们再多加解释，你可以讲说我们一起走路去这个巴士站。OK， 所以这个句子呢就是多写的 elaboration。 OK， 所以呢让你的作文呢没有看起来没有那么的短。 See you there and bye， 所以呢最后我们讲在那里见你，然后我们就拜拜。下面我们就可以写一个 best regard， 当然你也可以写 your cousin， 因为你的题目上面写的是 your cousin， 还记得吗？这里，所以这里如果是 your friend 你可以用 your friend， your cousin 你可以用 your cousin， instead of 这个你也可以用 best regard， 所以我们就写上我们的署名 Lily。 OK， 那老师来读一次。 Hi John, excuse me, I will be late to the museum today because I had to visit my neighbor Mr. Jack in hospital. Can you meet me around 11 AM at Dim's Cafe? The cafe is just a stone throw away from your house and we can walk together to the bus stop after that. See you there and bye, best regard, Lily. OK， 所以呢，一篇简单的 Part 6的 Email Short Communicative Message 呢，我们就学习完毕了。那我希望你有学到一些东西。拜拜。